Hello, Jennifer Tochi here. Day 2, yeah, of 80's week. Yes. And I have picked, I think, one of my favorite love stories of all time. And I've just hit my skeleton Christmas tree that's made out of a dress that I leave up all year because it's a great pin holder for pins such as these. Yes, uh, plays well with self. I wore this out today, and I wore it to bed like this, and I said, "And I'm gonna dress up to go out and just go to the mall." Cause what do we do in the 80's? We go to the mall. Actually, they're having a 60% sale off of Joann's fabrics, and I needed some. Cross stitch thread. So people kept looking at me weird, and I realized they were looking at my pin. Yes, but today I picked one of my favorite love stories of all time. Yes, and it's from the 80's. And it's not made by John Hughes. Imagine that. Somebody won a Oscar for this movie. 1987. Moonstruck. Yes. Ah, the moon brings the woman to the man. What do we got here? We got Cher. We've got Nicolas Cage and Cher kissing. Yes. We've got Danny Aiello. I always want to say Areola when I say his name. We've got Olympia Dukakis. Yes. Vincent Gardenia. Yes. And many more stars, but those are the most important ones to me. Yes. Um, we got Danny. Let's just call him Danny A. Where I get myself in trouble. He plays Johnny. Yes. And the film opens with him sitting with Cher. And his mom is dying in Sicily. Yes, Sicily. So and in New York City, yes, he is sitting there with Cher. A widow, yes. And he proposes to her, yes. And he's about to go on a plane to Sicily to see his dying mother. Oh, I say, that's a sign, yes. But he says, I need you to do one thing. I have an estranged brother who I haven't talked to in years. And I need you to track him down and ask him to the wedding. Yes. So he says, find Ronnie Camerari. Yeah. And he's played by Nicolas Cage. Yes. Some great dialogue in this movie, I must say. And some great music. This movie made me love opera even more than that Looney Tunes did. I'm trying to find out. Directed by Norman Jewishin. Mm-hmm. Yes. And um he also conducted the movie. Yes. Yes. And Cher plays Loretta Castorini. Yes. And um long ago, her first husband got hit by a bus, and her whole family that she lives with thinks she's very unlucky. Yes, because of this. Bad luck. Everybody's always saying bad luck. And her parents are played by Olympia Dukakis. She plays her mother, Rose. And Vincent Gardenia plays Cosmo. Yes. And there's also a Mona somewhere in these parents' lives. It doesn't have anything to do with Rose. Yes. Yes, well, Loretta tracks Ronnie down. Find out Ronnie is very mad at Johnny. Yes, he's a baker. A baker, yes. And he cuts food. And way long ago, Ronnie was engaged to a woman. And Johnny came into the bakery to get some bread. And he said, "Will you cut the bread?" And Ronnie said, "Sure, I'll cut some bread." But Johnny made him look the other way. And Ronnie ended up cutting off his hand. So he lost his hand. He lost his bride. Yes. Johnny has his hand. Johnny has his bride. Yes. One of my favorite lines in there. Crazy Nick Cage saying that. Yes, because when Ronnie's then betrothed girl found out he had no hand, she ended it. Bad girl. It's not a good sign, you know. If I was engaged to somebody and they lost their hand, I would love them even more. So she wasn't worth it, Ronnie. Yes. But there's a flame there between Ronnie and Loretta. They end up going upstairs to his apartment above the bakery. And take a couple drinks and woohoo! Little woohoo happens, yes. And the next day, Loretta wakes up and he said, "We must never see each other again." Yes. Bad luck, yes. And he says, "I will never see you again if you promise to go to the opera with me. I love opera. And I need you to go with me, and then I will leave you alone forever." So Loretta, who is beautiful, I would say, has some gray hair. A lot more than mine, but she goes and she gets a fancy schmancy dress, yes, and gets those grays covered with black hair, yes, and gets some makeup on and meets him at La Boheme, yes, a great Italian opera. And oh, it's beautiful. I've watched La Boheme so many times. Even live, I've watched it. The opera, the opera singers were not that well trained, but it's beautiful. Yes, you found out another one of my obsessions. Opera. But afterwards, she comes back to his bed. And meanwhile, Johnny is on a plane from Sicily home. What happens? His mom gets off her deathbed and she is fine. Yes. So, when she gets home the next day, things happen. Yes. Her mother's yelling at her, "Where have you been? You have a love bite on your neck." Yes. Yes. I've already said the I lost my hand, I lost my bride part. Yes. And the moon brings the woman to the man. There's also another good talk. Ronnie says to Loretta, I'm in love with you." She slaps him across the face and says, "Snap out of it." Yes. This movie got 7.1 out of 10 out of IMDb. Yes. And Rotten Tomatoes gives it 93%. Came out in 1987. Cher ended up winning the Academy Award for it. Here's an amazing fact about this movie. Cher said she would only play Loretta if Nicolas Cage were to play Ronnie. And Nicolas Cage was 23 and Cher was 40. Damn, Cher does, that age difference does not show. At least I didn't notice. Maybe I was just so in love with the story that I didn't. If I were to watch that now, I still wouldn't notice that 13-year. Damn. But again, I can be a cougar at times. Yes. But the house they filmed this in is now on sale, and people are offering $13 million for it. Yes, it's just a house on the corner in Brooklyn. $13 million. Yes, and the bakery. My goodness, the person who owned it had to declare bankruptcy because not enough bread was made, and so and they turned it into a restaurant slash bakery. Yes, I found that very interesting. $13 million. That was a beautiful house. Though. Yes. The inside was beautiful. The outside is nothing. It's like, it's brick. But yeah, that's kind of like the houses in Butte. You know, you walk by a house and you go, and then you go in there and go, whoa. Yes. Well, no, I talked a long time about this movie because I love it. Best love story. One of the best love stories. I love it. And I will see you again tomorrow. Oh, and I still have my hand. I don't have a bride because I don't want one. No husband now. Okay. Goodbye.